What about the OnePlus 8 Pro in 2025? Now, I know this phone has been out for a really long time. It was released in 2020, so it's almost 5 years old because, this year just started. But I'm telling you, as old as this device is, I still love this device. I love the build quality, love the color. Of course, it has that old school design, but it's still decent. Everything is, three cameras either on the side, in the middle, or the big giant circular camera nowadays. But I still like the design of this. Now, this phone is really curved. Now, for those people that really don't like super curved devices, you definitely don't want this one. I mean, I like it. I mean, this phone is kind of thin but it's comfortable in the hand, honestly, because the corners around it. But it's just really thin and it's really curved. Now, the curve don't bother me. I actually like curved displays, so that's really not a big deal. But for some of you that may have an issue with accidental touches, of course, you could always put a case on it. But do me a favor, y'all. Whoever out there still has the 8 Pro, please let me know down in the comment section, because I'm curious to who out there is still rocking this device. Now, I still like this device a whole lot. I really do. You got your alert slider here. You got your power button here. Now, this one, they still had the volume rockers on the left, so to separate, which I prefer everything on the right, but that's just me because I'm right-handed. So no big deal. But this phone here is unlocked for all carriers, which is always a good thing. It's a flagship device. And I already talked about the design. The design is not bad at all. Build quality, Gorilla Glass 5. To this day, I've had this phone now probably 4 years, and I have zero scratches. I mean, not even micro scratches on the screen, no damage on the back. Now, keep in mind, I do use a case, and I will be putting this case back on the phone because, I might drop it. Right now, my hands are not super dry, so I can actually have some grip to it. Of course, you got the one speaker at the bottom, USB Type-C port. And, of course, you got your IR blaster up here as well. I like that. So, and this was like the color that I wanted to get my hands on, this green. It looked like a teal type of, greenish teal type of look. And I love this matte finish on the back. Now, usually when my hands are super dry, this phone is super slippery. But for some reason, my hands are kind of moist today. So that's the reason why this phone is not slipping out of my hands. Now, you got this always on display, which is customizable. Sometimes, the notifications, sometimes YouTube will come in red, but most of the time, everything is white. You see when you get a notification, it'll actually show you what it is, and it'll kind of light up on the sides here. Decent always on display. Not Samsung level, but, it's decent. Of course, you got your in-display fingerprint sensor that works really well. No issues with that at all. Works really well. You got a little animation and you get haptic feedback, which I like a lot. Face unlock is still really good. And this is behind the camera. I can't do this with a Samsung device at all. And it's a shame. It's a shame. I mean, this phone here is almost 5 years old and its face unlock is awesome. I'm telling you, it's awesome. Now, this is IP68 water and dust resistant. This was the first device, if I'm not mistaken, that OnePlus finally gave us full IP68 water and dust resistance. People have been begging for that for years with OnePlus, and they finally did it on this device. And for some weird reason, now I don't know about the 9 Pro or the 10 Pro because I didn't get any of those devices, honestly. But I know with the OnePlus 11, there was no IP68 water dust resistant. And on the OnePlus 12, which is my favorite OnePlus device, they went to IP65. Now, I don't know why you would go from 68 back to 65. Makes no sense. But with the the OnePlus 13, they went back to IP68-69. So they went to another level, which is good. All right, now the battery life on this, 4,500, 10 milliamp hour battery. To this day, I'm still getting a day and a half. Can't say that for any of my Samsung devices. Even the S23 Ultra is not happening. No, it's not happening. Not for me, not the way I use my phone. And I use all my phones the same. 100% brightness, always on display, quad HD display, 120 hertz. That's just the way I like using my device. But on this device being that old, and I've used this phone quite a lot, I've charged it quite a few times over the years, still getting a day and a half of battery life, getting over six and a half hours of screen on time. The battery is still a beast on this device to this day. Now, the battery charging speeds, of course, this was the first time that OnePlus actually sped up their charging speeds, 30-watt wired charging. They called it warp charging. Yeah, warp charging. And then you got, finally, for the first time also, OnePlus gave us wireless charging. And they didn't just give us 15 watts like Samsung is still giving to this day, which I think is utterly ridiculous. They gave us 30-watt wireless charging. So you got 30-watt wired charging, 30-watt wireless charging, and they gave us 5-watt reverse wireless charging. Check this out. They give faster wireless charging and faster reverse wireless charging than Samsung, and this was back in 2020. Isn't that ridiculous? Isn't that crazy? And to this day, 2025, Samsung is still giving 15-watt wireless charging and 4.5-watt reverse wireless charging. It's crazy. Now, with this model here, you got 12 gigs of RAM. And also that what was good about this, you could also extend the RAM by 4 gigs. So currently I'm using 16 gigs of RAM on this device, which is cool. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to software support, there's no more software updates, security updates, or OnePlus updates. So, but it's still running really well. Honestly, I'm not having any performance issues with this phone at all. Let's talk about this display. Now you got this Quad HD Plus AMOLED display, HDR10 plus, 120 hertz refresh rate, 513 pixel density, and you got that motion graphics smoothing. This is a main reason why I'll never get rid of this device. This device is going to have to just stop working on me, because when you turn on that motion graphics smoothing, it makes standard definition movies or whatever you're watching look like HDR, or something like look like 4K at 60 or 1080p at 60. It just makes it so crisp and clear. It's hard. Let me turn the volume down. I don't even know if y'all gonna be able to tell the difference, honestly, but I was playing Star Trek earlier. Now this is just I think in very low resolution. I mean, really, I don't even think it's 720p. Honestly, I really don't. I think it's less than that. But when you play stuff, it just gets, see it says turning on motion graphic smoothing. So it just gets really, really clear. Like, I don't know. This is something that's in red at the moment. Hold on, let me skip past that. Get something a little clear. Okay. I mean, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell just by looking at this how clear this is. Prior to turning this on, it's nowhere near looking this clear and this sharp. It's not even close. So I don't know if you can tell, just by looking through this video, how good it looks. But that motion graphic smoothing is everything. I really am so disappointed that OnePlus took that feature off their newer devices, because that's something I wish they would have kept, because I enjoy it so much. And that's the reason why I'll never get rid of this device, just based on that alone. Now, in the settings, you get 4 display settings. You get vivid, natural, advanced, and vibrant color effects. So you can basically, make a lot of changes when it comes to the display. I'll let you see real quick. All right. So you see, I got it at 100%. So you got screen color mode. You see, now I don't have it on vivid. I have it on brilliant, but you get vivid, natural, pro modes, cinematic, and brilliant. I'm using brilliant. I want it at its best. I got it right in between cool and warm, but you do get all these different choices. Now, I thought vivid was going to be the best, but actually brilliant is the best, because it said it uses the widest color gamut for a brighter, colorful display. So that's just what I like. Now, of course, you can use natural tone display, which I'm not going to use because that's going to make it look kind of blah for me. You got eye comfort if you want to use that. Of course, you can change the font, display size. Now, video color boost, you can actually boost the color for videos, which I have it turned on. And also here you go, video motion enhancement. When you go in here, now you could go from 60 frames per second, or you can go all the way up to 120 frames per second. See it right there? And the higher it is, the smoother it's going to be. And I wish that's something they would have left on their other devices, especially the OnePlus 12. It's just unfortunate. Of course, you can use bright HDR video mode too, as well. And screen resolution. Now, the only thing that's bad about it when you're using the video enhancement, that graphics, that motion graphic smoothing, you can't use quad HD resolution. You got to use standard resolution. Now, the screen refresh rate, you can still keep it high. But when it comes to using that, you have to have it at standard, which is unfortunate, but it's worth it. Like, I really can't tell, honestly, because it looks so good. So it's not a big deal. I just wanted to take y'all through that real quick. Now, when it comes to performance, look, y'all, I'm telling you, it's still smooth. And matter of fact, yesterday when I was playing around with it, I actually turned the frame rates down a little from, I think, 1.x to 1.5 just to make it even smoother. Because it was going a lot faster than this, but I just wanted that longer thing, where it took longer, but it was just it was just smoother looking, like it looks now. Like I just like this look. I just do. I just love it. It's so sweet. I love that. I just love the way that looks, y'all. Now, of course, you can change this where I got it on roll barrel. You can change, when it comes to this, I think all you do is just hold it down like that. Let me see. You scroll over till you get the transition effects. And you got roll. That's what I'm using. Cube, flip, card, tilt. And you got default. So I'm using roll. So I like that. So that's the one I'm currently using, the roll. I like that. Everything just rolls. This phone is still super smooth, fast, and fluent. So performance is great. Speakers, dual stereo speakers on here. They sound really, really good. Before the OnePlus 12, no, actually before the OnePlus 11, these were the best sounding speakers I ever heard on a OnePlus device. Honestly, they really were. I'm not lying. But the OnePlus 11 speakers blew me away. I mean, they blew me away for a device that was small, like it was, because they actually made that phone a lot smaller than this for some weird reason, and it was just even more narrow. I didn't like that phone, but I did like the speakers. Speakers were amazing. But before that phone, these were by far the best speakers on a OnePlus device I ever heard. And the thing about it, these speakers to this day still sound really, really good. I mean, even low bass and stuff, the mids, the highs, they sound really, really good. Very impressed. And of course, they come with Dolby Atmos. Now, with the cameras, of course, now OnePlus was never known for cameras up until this device, in my opinion. Now, I'm not going to speak for other people, but before this, the cameras were just meh. Not with this one. Okay, now you're getting 4 cameras on the back. Now you're really getting 3 because you got that color filter, which really is just useless, honestly. So you got the 48 megapixel wide with laser autofocus, optical image stabilization, 8 megapixel telephoto lens with optical image stabilization, and 3 times optical zoom, and a 48 megapixel ultra wide, and a 5 megapixel color filter. Now you shoot video 60 frames per second, 1080p at 60. With the selfie camera, you got a 16 megapixel wide that shoots video at 1080p at 30 frames. So no 1080p at 60 or 4K on the front facing camera. But before this, like I said, the cameras on the OnePlus device were just meh. These cameras on this device was by far the best cameras that OnePlus ever put on one of their flagship devices. By far. Now, I didn't have the 9 Pro, so I don't know. I didn't have the 10 Pro. 11 Pro actually got better than these a little bit, and the 12 Pro is just unbelievable. But these cameras on this device blew me away. Check out my full review on this device. Go straight to the camera section if you want to do that. Check out the photos that I took with this camera. They were amazing. I was very, very impressed. To me, these were like flagship cameras in my opinion. Okay. Now, I didn't even have to put this phone in the case because, like I said, my hands are moist, which is very rare. So I didn't feel like I was going to drop the phone. But the OnePlus 8 Pro, even to this day, this is a worthy pickup. Now, you know the thing that's weird about this? I just went on Amazon just to check out, see how much it is, because I'm sure it should be under $200 or maybe just a little over because it's a Pro. I couldn't even find one. Only thing I saw on there was the OnePlus 8 and the 8T. I could not find a OnePlus 8 Pro. I'm sure you could find them on Amazon, but you know, Amazon, I don't, I mean, eBay. eBay, I'm not too kosher on eBay because, you know, I ended up getting a fake Samsung Note 10 Plus, and that really upset me. I didn't like that because it was supposed to be brand new, sealed in the box, and it wasn't even the same device as the Note 10 Plus I already had. So I'm not fooling around with eBay no more. I'm just not. You know, I'll suggest you either get it from OnePlus directly, or maybe, you know, Amazon will maybe get some at a later date. I don't know. But I couldn't find an 8 Pro on Amazon. Just couldn't. But this, I'm giving away that 7 Pro T, but not this one. No, this ain't going nowhere. I'm keeping this for sure. And the 7T Pro is actually a little wider than this, which I prefer. But this phone is just better in every way than the 7T Pro. It just is. Okay, it just is. Like I said, I'm keeping this. The OnePlus 12 and the OnePlus 8 Pro, man, awesome. But the 12 is like, how could I say it? Prime OnePlus, or the pinnacle of OnePlus. I don't know. The OnePlus 13, I don't like the way they changed it back with the camera. I don't like it, but you know, that's just me. But that 12 that I have, it's just unbelievable. I love that phone. I love it in every way. Only thing that phone was missing for me is IP68 water industrial resistance. Of course, I would love expandable storage, but of course, OnePlus never put expandable storage on their devices anyway, except for the mid-range and budget devices. They did it, but for some reason they won't do it with their flagship devices and a headphone jack. That would be nice, but still, if you could find this, maybe AliExpress, you know, some reputable company where you can get your hands on one, I suggest you get one. Even though, like I said, it doesn't get a security updates and any more software updates. But if that's not a big deal for you, I definitely recommend this device. It's still an awesome device. Great speakers, great display, great battery life, great cameras, great performance, great build. I mean, the phone has everything. Fast, 30-watt wired, 30-watt reverse, 5-watt, 30-watt wired, 30-watt wireless, and 5-watt reverse. It has everything a flagship phone is supposed to have. It has it all. You got the alert slider, you got IR blaster, you got everything. So definitely check out the OnePlus 8 Pro if you're a OnePlus fan. Now, if you just don't like OnePlus devices, then I say don't even bother. But if you really like OnePlus devices, because I have for years now, for a really, really long time. I remember I had the very first OnePlus device when it first came out, and you had to go through some weird invitation to get it. Like, it was kind of hard to get it, in the beginning. But I go all the way back to the very beginning, and I had the very first OnePlus device, and they've always been great devices, especially when it comes to performance and battery life. All right, so that's my review of the OnePlus 8 Pro in 2025. I do appreciate everybody out there. The giveaway is coming soon. I'm just having some issues right now when it comes to transportation. so I just don't have the freedom to get to get to the post office. So bear with me. My car's in the shop, so hopefully, I can get it straightened out this week and I could be back in it, hopefully, because that's really making things difficult for me. All right, so thank you all for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. I hope everybody out there staying safe, staying well, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.